Planning is important if you are to reach every child who needs vaccination. So let's look at the steps we should take to achieve the best result, starting with an overview, then in detail.
In Africa, there are 3 immunisation strategies we use to reach every mother and child. The fixed site, that is at hospitals or health centres, the outreach session, and the mobile team.
At fixed sites, mothers and children come to scheduled immunisation sessions. Outreach sessions take the immunisation clinic to local villages, and mobile teams may need to stay overnight in remote villages so they can offer immunisation services. Before any of these sessions, we must make sure we have enough supplies for all those who need to be immunised. How do we work out how many need immunisation? Obtaining information about the population and area to be served will help you plan immunisation activities, assess why people are not coming in for immunisation, and identify ways to increase the use of health services. To map your catchment area, you first work out the boundaries of your area. Then mark in important landmarks such as the main roads, health centre, geographic barriers, streams and mountains. Also needed on the map are climate and seasonal barriers, for example, road washouts in the rainy season, and the time required to travel. Other barriers to mark in are cultural, ethnic divisions and languages. Include also the location of cultural organisations, community groups, community leaders and NGOs. The map should be simple but informative and indicate the estimated population and target population, that is, those less than 1 year old, for each settlement within your boundary. Finally, the immunisation strategy to cover each settlement should be added to your map.
This map shows one of our catchment areas. The population living here is served by a mobile team. We will use this area as an example to show how we calculate the vaccine supplies we need. We know from the health department figures there are 30,000 people in this area. The annual birth rate is 35 per 1,000 population. This is 3.5% of the population and gives a number of 1,050. These 1,050 babies will need immunisation. Not all these will live, so a more accurate percentage for calculating vaccine requirements is the 1-year child survival rate, if you have these figures available.
Once we have the number to be immunised, it always helps to know our monthly target, so we can monitor the program more easily. Our yearly target population is 1,050 babies. When we divide that by 12, we get 88. So in this area, if we immunise fewer than 88 babies per month, it's possible some are being missed. Other areas will have different numbers of people, so you will need to check the number in your area, but we'll use this one as an example. What does this mean in terms of vaccines we need? A health centre must have a minimum of 2 weeks and a maximum of 6 weeks supply to run effectively. You can work out these amounts by multiplying the number of vaccine doses needed for each person in a year by the target population. We also need to add an allowance for wastage, that is, when some vaccine is not used and is thrown away. In this example, the target population of 1,050 will need 1 dose of measles vaccine during the year. That means 1,050 times 1 equals 1,050 doses are needed. With 10 doses per vial, a total of 105 vials will be used during the year. That's just less than 9 vials per month. To this we add the wastage factor. As much as half of some vaccine supplies is wasted because vials are opened and not fully used, say when only a few clients arrive to be immunised. Some open vials can be used next time if they're being used in the health centre, but others, such as measles and BCG, must be discarded at the end of the immunisation session or 6 hours after they're opened. Also, open multi-dose vials without preservative, like PCV10, need to be discarded at the end of the immunisation session or 6 hours after opening. Wastage can be calculated by knowing the number of doses in the stock at the beginning of the month, the number of doses received during the month, the number administered during the month, and finally the number of doses in stock at the end of the month. So if we had 5 vials of BCG, that's 100 doses, in the refrigerator at the beginning of the month, and another 5 vials arrived during the month, the total number on hand that month would be 200 doses.
Wastage.
If at the end of the month we've used 100 doses, but have immunised just 60 children, the wastage would be 40 doses.
Divided by 100.
40 doses wasted from the 100 doses used gives us a wastage rate of 40% for BCG. Vaccine wastage should be calculated regularly and monitored by district and provincial EPI managers. It's important all immunisations are recorded on the immunisation register and on the session tally sheets, so we can keep a track of progress. At the end of each month we can put it on a graph and see how things are going. If the number we immunised is less than the number we anticipated, we need to find ways to get to more people in our area. We'll discuss this in detail later. Remember, calculating the target population and vaccine quantities keeps you focused on those needing immunisation.
Add an allowance for wastage to the vaccines you order from the central stores.
Use the numbers and graphs to ensure you are reaching the biggest number of people possible. And if you are vaccinating fewer people than expected, you could be missing some.